their fin tethers. In these conditions, they have to have fin tethers and safety secure their fins to their body just in case they get ripped off of their feet, either from a wipeout or duck diving.
And we're underway with Heat 2 of round 3. Out in the water right now in red, Jared Houston from South Africa. Dave Hubbard from Hawaii in white. Roberto Bruno from Brazil in yellow. And Joe Grodzen from California representing the USA, the wild card, in black.
Nice international mix of riders. Jared Houston, the South African, he is feeling good right now. And David Hubbard, he's always feeling good. Roberto Bruno, he was on fire on his last heat. And Joe Grodzen, he had a shocker in his last heat. So he wants to make sure that he actually can pull off something better than that fourth place finish in his earlier heat.
Yes, unfortunately, Joe Grodzen getting triangled for an interference on a priority call really negated his chances of getting out of that heat and being able to make it to the man-on-man portion of the main event. But he is out there nonetheless, and we both know Joe pretty well. You've known Joe for many, many years. He's a true competitor. Even if he's out of the running to make the man-on-man portion of this event, he's going to go out there. He's going to give this everything he's got.
That's right. In fact, well, hold on. Jared Houston in red, first up and riding in this heat. Nice, clean bottom turn, goes for that lip section. Big roll right there on the inside. Jared Houston starting it off right here.
Nice way to get things started for the heat. Jared Houston driving down the line and punching the roll. Here we have the replay. Jared setting a nice line, eyeing up that section. Here he adjusts his line, cranks up towards the top, and boom. Little late, but still gets through clean, gets the rotation. Nice landing, comes through. Jared Houston getting on the board first. And Jared Houston will score a 6.0 on that first wave. Jared, the South African, riding for Turbo Bodyboards. Here you can see his rider profile dropping on the screen. 21 years old, currently ranked 8th in the world. This kid has been a head turner since he came onto the tour, and he's in the title hunt. He's on the outside looking in, but he's still in the running for a potential world title. And here you can see a set wave coming in, unridden. Riders out there waiting for some swell action to come through. While I have a moment between waves. Oh, wait, hold on a moment. Dave Hubbard up and riding.
All right, Dave, nice takeoff spin off the top. Nice little turn right there to get back into the speed zone, forcing a roll right there. And a little frustration right there from D-Hub. But he's not one to let that get in the way. He's one of those consistent riders and likes to strike under the radar, and he is definitely one to keep an eye on in this heat.
Dave, always a dangerous competitor. If he gets into a groove out in the water, he can run away with a heat. We saw it in one of his drop knee heats. He scored at 9.0, and from there it was devastating. Meanwhile, up and riding, Roberto Bruno from Brazil in the yellow jersey, trying to get around this section. He's going to duck out, couldn't quite get around the white water. And that'll get Roberto Bruno on the board, but he will paddle out and look for something a little more substantial. Meanwhile, Dave Hubbard at 2.5 on his first wave. So we have 3 of our 4 riders on the board. We're just waiting for Joe Grodzen to get his first wave under his belt. And we are underway here in Heat 2, Round 3 of the leaderboard segment of the Grand Slam Series Men's World Tour, the main event.
Wow, look how beautiful it looks out there. Nice sun. The sun came out. The wind is still pretty calm. Little onshore, off, just a little breeze on it, giving it a little texture, but not too bad. And here we go. Action. Jared Houston.
Jared Houston up and riding, driving down the line, catches a little speed bump, and then decides to duck out. I don't know if that little cross chop on the face threw him off or it just wasn't lining up the way he wanted. But there you can see Jared Houston paddling back out.
All right, still waiting for his first wave in black, the Californian Joe Grodzen. Joe Grodzen is sitting in priority, I believe. So he's got He's got the ball in his court. Roberto Bruno with a 1-point wave and David Hubbard with a 2.5 wave. And Jared Houston, the only one with a solid wave.
And for those of you tuning in online, we'd like to welcome you to the 2011 IBA Encanto Pro Puerto Rico up and riding. Joe Grodzen from the U.S. drives down the line. Nice little snap off the top, sets up, pocket spin, still going, and he's going to duck out as that was going to section off in front of him.
Yeah, Joe Grodzen, unfortunately, this is just going to be more of a free surf session out there, and he could become a spoiler for a couple of the riders out there. He is in the bottom half of the 32. Here we go, up and riding, Roberto Bruno.
There you can see Roberto Bruno drives up, throws a spin in the pocket, comes back around, trying to get around the whitewater section, and doesn't look like it's going to happen. He ducks out on that one. So we'll wait for some scores to drop. Looks like Joe Grodzen will receive a 3.15 on his first wave. That'll be enough to move him into the second position at the moment. We have about 24 minutes remaining. He's still in the early going here in Heat 2 of round number 3. This is the leaderboard section of the main event here at the Encanto Pro Puerto Rico.
All right, the one person in this heat who is still in the mix as far as the title race is concerned, that is our boy, Jared Houston. But he needs a lot of things to happen, one of which getting out of this leaderboard round.
Yes, and there you saw we had a quick up and down ride. Jerry paddling back out to the lineup in the red jersey, and here's Roberto Bruno's last wave, dropping in, driving down the line.
Yes, you can see him setting up. Oh, Roberto Bruno on his last wave. Actually, wasn't too bad, but it was Joe Grodzen's last wave coming around the bottom, and I don't think I've ever seen Joe Grodzen do a 360, but you know what? He knows what's at stake. At least a good showing, but a nice face carve. That's the Joe I know. Nice carving, rail-to-rail maneuvering, and goes into a nice, actually really clean spin right there from Joe Grodzen. He's known for his drop knee terror on his goofy foot. So Joe Grodzen, a good rider, both prone and drop knee. So back to the live action. Out in the water, basically, where are we at?
And it looks like Jared Houston taking a look at that one, but he's going to let it go by. Jared currently in the lead with a 6.0 and a 1.0 so far, followed by Roberto Bruno in second. Dave Hubbard currently sits third, and Joe Grodzen in fourth. But again, still in the early going here in this heat. We have about 22 minutes remaining, and we have a rider up.
Wow, how did Joe get out so quick? But here he is up and riding. Nice, another spin on the face of the wave, coming in that inside section, and that's all. A little bit more wind coming in on the outside. This is the second heat of round number 3. There's 8 heats to go, or 6 heats to go, including this one, in round number 3. The last, wow, that was a pretty cool little bird shot right there.
Yeah, a flock of birds flying by real quick, cruising across the water level right in front of that one. And here we have Roberto Bruno up and riding, as well as Jared Houston. Jared Houston driving down the line on the right, looking for a section. Goes up, hits the flip, and it looked like he got stuck getting it around, but comes around in the whitewater and rides it out.
All right, we saw Roberto Bruno going on the left, but the camera guy made sure he stayed on the rider that he had full focus on, and that was Jared Houston on the right. But it was Roberto Bruno on the left, punching through the lip, and a nice roll for Roberto. But Joe Grodzen probably had the best of that split peak situation.
Yes, that one looked like it was lining up pretty good for Jared Houston. Jared powering through that maneuver there. Like I said, it looked like he got a little stuck in the whitewater, but he was able to get it around and complete the maneuver. So while we await scores to drop for Roberto Bruno and Jared Houston, be sure to go to IBAWorldTour.com, click on Shop. There you can find all the latest IBA merchandise. We've got beanies, we've got hats, we've got T-shirts, iPhone covers. You can even pre-book the purchase of your 2012 IBA World Tour calendar. Be sure to go to IBAWorldTour.com, click on Shop. All the prices listed are in U.S. dollars. Yes, you want the hat like I've got, the T-shirt, all these goods available online. Also, don't forget to check out our Facebook page, and youtube.com/IBA World Tour to get all of the latest highlight clips, all of the heat videos from all of the previous competitions, as well as everything up to this point. You want to see it, that's where to go. And
you have to go ahead.
You want to own it, you can go buy it online.
Yes. You have to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where you're going to get the latest and greatest as far as the media concerned. So make sure you tune in. Look at this. Out the back, David Hubbard in the white jersey.
Dave Hubbard throws into a pocket spin, comes out, sets his line, throws the roll off of the section, looking for something else. That's going to be all she wrote. But a nice little spin to roll combination from Dave Hubbard on that one.
Well, he does have two low-scoring waves, 2.5 and a 1.35. So that he needed that to start getting back into the race. There's 19 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this heat. So we did have not only a white iPhone cover for the iPhone 4, but we also had a black one too. And I think somebody walked away with it, and I know who it is. So we'll track him down.
Yes, tour manager Terry McKenna actually put this on his phone to check it out. And liked it so much he left it there. So
yes.
He's showing that off to everybody, drumming up some online sales, I believe.
Well, if you want yours, and I'm going to get my iPhone soon, maybe in the next couple years. Check this out. Diego Cabrera coming up next. And you know what? All the guys are under this red tent. That seems to be the spot to keep an eye on the conditions. Diego Cabrera, I don't know if he knows he has his sunglasses still on, but he doesn't have his fins, so he'll probably come back, take off his sunglasses, and grab his fins. He is coming up next against Ryan Hardy, Damian King, and the local boy, Hyson Carillon, who placed 6th in the trials. So that's coming up next, another stacked heat.
Yes, and again, we will see in that heat some interesting scenarios. Ryan Hardy and Damian King both in position to move forward in the event. Whereas Diego, unfortunately, he missed his first heat, which meant he had to win round 2 and round 3 heats to get those 12 points, which seems to be the magic cutoff to get into the man-on-man portion of the main event. He finished 2nd in his 2nd heat. So right now he has 4 points, and even with a win in this upcoming heat, he would only have 10 points. So he's kind of riding behind the 8 ball on this one. He's going out there out of heart because he basically realized after round 2 that he was not going to be able to make it to the next round.
Yes, and being from the Canary Islands, or any islands for that matter, traveling around the world as a professional athlete, you have to go from the island to an international airport and then fly to the destination. So these guys who are island-based have a lot of stamina to be able to handle not only long flights, but then come out here and compete in some heavy conditions. We had, 6 to 8 foot waves throughout the entire day, and a lot of these guys, just like Damian King mentioned, are just getting over jet lag. So big props to these professional athletes who are putting it all on the line here at the Encanto Pro, Puerto Rico.
Yes, not just jet lag, but time zone differences play a big part in it as well. When you're used to being in a certain time zone, and then all of a sudden you're 12 hours ahead, your day is literally turned upside down.
So great job for these guys for doing what they're doing. All right, once again, in the water, it was Jared Houston winning the heat, Robert, Bruno, David Hubbard, and Joe Grodzen in this heat.
You know what, Manny? I'm going to take a moment to duck out and grab some lunch. We've got a guest coming in to sit down in the booth with you so you can ask some questions and kind of pick her brain. We've got the world #1 in the Women's World Tour, Nate Aguirre from Basque Country.
All right, brother. Come back with some sandwiches.
Most definitely, brother.
All right, coming into the hot seat from España, it is Eunate Aguirre, and we're going to pick her brain and see what it's like going into the last event of the Women's World Tour. She is in the lead, I believe, but she needs to hold on and hold steady and perform well in the Azores to make sure she will become, finally, a world champ. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Do you speak English?
Well, I can try.
I'm kidding. You speak English. Okay, Eunate Aguirre, welcome to the hot seat. Okay, now, your chances to become world champion here at this event are no longer, but your eyes and your focus are on the Azores. What are you going to do different? What is your strategy going to be going into this event?
Well, I think the most important thing is to go there like first than nobody else.
Okay.
And try to understand the wave, try to understand what I'm gonna do there, and just one more time, I don't know, to put all my energy in one more contest, and hopefully everything's gonna be fine.
Okay, well, I wish you the best of luck. Whoa, big aerial maneuver right there from David Hubbard, but fails at the last second. So sorry if I cut you off, but live action is going down right now here in Encanto Pro, Puerto Rico. Jared Houston, the South African, looking for a lit maneuver. A little late on that move, but still able to pull that roll all the way around. So again, with me now, Eunate Aguirre. We're going to take some look at some of the highlights from after this replay of David Hubbard. David Hubbard, timing was good. Speed probably was the factor here where he lost all his speed. Big extension. That forward projection just disappeared and he bailed ship. So we're setting up the replays for the highlights of what went down in the women's division. And we want you to talk us through it as soon as we get that set and ready. Okay, here we are taking a look at what went down so far in this competition for you. So talk to us about this competition.
Well, I think it's an amazing competition for us. I think all the girls have been surfing so good and giving like the best performance ever I've seen on the tour. And I think well, the waves have been perfect, and we've been just having fun. I think this is the most important, the good wave and good people around, and it's been great for all the girls. Neymara also, Carla is doing a great surf as well, and all the girls.
And talk to us about the waves here in middles. What is everybody having to deal with as far as competition perspective?
Well, I think the wave is basically is mostly is a right-hander, so it's been like a good size for all the girls, like a lot of maneuvers. We saw like Myla and Lily's head doing different maneuvers, like aerials, RSs, and I think that this has been so good for everyone. Basically, it's an easy way for be on the air and try different maneuvers. So I think everyone has been happy with the conditions. And
yeah, everybody's been very happy with the conditions.
Yeah.
We've had waves since the beginning of the event here in Puerto Rico. So coming off a win in Portugal and coming here really quick, Roberto Bruno with a big invert right there, live action. So you were very happy. I saw it on your face after your win in Portugal. And you come here, and unfortunately you didn't make it past where you needed to be for that title race. How important, how much do you want that world title crown?
I want it so much. I mean, I keep wanting so much, but it's hard when you lose, especially in quarterfinals, and knowing that the other girls, they're getting even closer than you. So it's pretty hard. A lot of emotions, they're moving inside me right now, but I'm kind of sad, and every morning I wake up in and say, like, no, you're going to do it, and I don't know. It's been the last years I've been second on the tour, and it's been so close. So this year, I win Sintra with maybe give me a lot of points, and I was like, wow, this is going to be the year. So basically, I come here to Venezuela and Puerto Rico knowing that it will be a good chance. This year will be good for me. And I don't know. I lost in quarterfinals with Natasha, and I feel pretty happy with for her. But in that heat, there was a lot of things that I couldn't even control, and the waves basically they never came to me. So I feel a little bit I can't do anything. I was feeling good with the surf, but the waves they never came to me.
So luck plays a lot into a competition like this.
Yeah, basically this is what I've been questioning right now. What is the luck for me? Because Venezuela, I lost in semifinals on the last 30 seconds.
Oh.
So that was hard too. And then here I couldn't even, like I told you, I couldn't even have a chance to get a ride or get away for at least to do anything or surf.
Going into the Azores, the last event on the Women's World Tour, talk to us about the training and your diet and anything specific that you do to prepare not only for the contest but for yourself too as a professional bodyboarder?
I think mostly is to feel yourself healthy in every little thing, in the food, in the performance, in the water, physically as well. You know, like to feel your body. Like you can go, you have a fast paddling, and you can get the big ones and like land the maneuvers, like holding your board. I think basically every little thing is gonna make you to be, you know, the world champ and to be ready for that.
Well, we've seen you out there, and you're performing absolutely on a different level if the waves come to you. So we want to make sure we give you a good luck for you know, the Azores, which is coming up. Now let's take a look at the replay. Joe Grodzen's wave in the black jersey. Cameraman. Oh, he didn't move it to where we wanted to see it. So, but there was a wave exchange, and we're going to bring you up to speed as far as the scores are concerned. But right now, it looks like Roberto Bruno getting a 6.9 and moving ahead. The yellow Brazilian, Roberto Bruno. Jared Houston, we're waiting for his last scores to start dropping in. He needs a 6.86, and it doesn't look like it's going to come in. 6.25 is what he got on his last wave. David Hubbard looking for a 7.0, and Joe Grodzen an 8.0 for that first place spot. The winds are picking up. It's amazing here at middles where conditions can change within minutes.
Yeah, it's true. Like right now, the other day they were like 3 feet, and today I don't know how much we've got, but it's messy, and they still be in a lot of bumps, but hard to choose the wave, and hard like to be there in 35 minutes and do your best.
Okay, I asked you how you stay, what you do to stay fit, but give me details. What do you eat? What do you do specifically as far as training is concerned? Like, do you jog? Do you go to the gym? Do you, I don't know, pump iron? I don't know. What do you do?
What I prefer to do is go surfing, and if there's no waves, I go swimming.
Okay.
And sometimes I go for the gym, but I don't really like to be like, you know, like strong. I really like more like to be fit in those 25 minutes. That means like your heart goes high, and you can do that time in a high performance. So basically that swim, and sometimes I go for a run, and that gives me, you know, like a lot of energy during a long time. That is what you need on the heat.
So cardio.
Yeah,
cardio and stamina is what you work on mostly. Okay.
Yeah, it's what I work basically more. And actually I feel pretty lucky because I've got the Basque government from my region, where it is helping me so much on that. I've got the doctors and everything checking me every time.
Awesome.
So
do you get free massages too?
No free massages, no.
Oh.
They make me that things that they put me a lot of sticks on my body, and I have to run for a long time.
That's cool.
So these kind of things, I guess that they say how I am basically.
So when they connect you, can they tell that you've been eating a lot of McDonald's lately?
Maybe, yeah.
No, but you don't eat McDonald's. I know. What diet do you incorporate into your training?
What I like, I feel lucky because I really like the healthy food.
Okay.
And what I'm eating basically is a lot of salad with pasta, rice, and always proteins with like meat or fish.
Okay.
I mix everything together, and I make yummy lunches and dinners.
What is jammy?
Like good ones.
Oh, yummy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yummy lunches and dinner, and some cardio is what you do. That's pretty much it. Okay. You've been here how many times before?
That's my first time.
0. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us what you like about Puerto Rico. I got a whole list. We want to know what you like.
The first thing that I love it's the waves. I think it's been like lovely waves everywhere. Basically, the north coast is full of waves. The weather it's amazing, like sunny days most of the time. Then the people, it's been so kind.
Yeah.
Muy amables, and so friendly. Everyone it's been helping us. Like, you've been surfing. I can bring you to those spots and secret spots, which is so good.
Yes.
We've been eating. It's a mix of American
Local food.
Boricua or Borican, I don't know how you say it, Boricua, local food. And it's been good. Like, everything looks amazing. Like, we're feeling so good. It's the first time, and everyone is loving it. So hopefully we're going to come back.
Where did you go? Let me ask you this in a second. But this is what went on while we were talking. This is Roberto Bruno, just another solid wave. Nice, tight 360 on the top of the lip right there, and finds his rail, comes back in. Oh, forces a roll. I don't know if he pulled that off. It's amazing, but it was pretty late. Not a clean roll, doesn't pull it off, but that was Roberto Bruno. He still is in the lead right now. Dropping in on this one, it is Joe Grodzen going left. Bumpy, little going for a lip maneuver, and the conditions are totally deteriorating right now, and we are only in heat number 3, or heat number 2 of round number 3. We have 8 heats to go through, so now the competitors have to dig deep to deal with the conditions. Michael Novi had a good run earlier today, and he'll be coming up soon as well. So, Puerto Rico, would you come back?
When?
Would you come back to Puerto Rico?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when I come back, I was thinking even like for training, it's pretty good because you've got the solid waves and you don't have the reef as shallow, so you can. For us, for the women, I think it's a good place for high performance and for try those maneuvers like airs and those things that the guys are doing, and we're still trying.
No, what do you mean trying? I've seen all of you guys, or girls, put down some serious maneuvers, backflips, and rolls, and so I can totally vouch for it because I got proof. Here's a quick clip of you pulling off an air roll spin, I believe earlier in one of your heats. So once the proof is ready, I will show you. But you got some waves. Okay, here we go. And so you can pretty much take back what you just said. You're doing exactly what the guys are doing, so don't even stress about that because this is there's a handful, actually a big group of the women professionals that are competing at the level of the guys. So it's great to see. And in fact, a lot of Facebook comments were on our IBA World Tour Facebook page, and very happy to see the caliber of riding. Whoa, and a nice little bell right there. You like that one?
No, it is true. Actually, this contest has been so good for us. Everyone is being surfing so comfortable, and I think it's what I feel in the heat. It was the first heat that you always feel like kind of well, I'm going first on you're going on the water. Yep. So you want to do good, and you feel a little bit nervous. You are not like on the rim, and el ritmo, but yeah, I think everyone is feeling so good with the waves, and we are trying to be up there. We're training every day, and I think the girls they're having a great performance.
All right, cool. Well, best of luck for sure in the Azores. I'm not going to be there, but hold it down for the Spaniards. Give me some names to keep an eye out for as far as Spain is concerned. Who are some top bodyboarders coming out of Spain?
Actually, I've got Alejandra Rinder. She's from Canaries, and she has a lot of potential. Okay. She's pretty young, I think 15 or 16 years old. And
it's a little blonde girl?
Yeah,
okay.
A little blondie. And she has the family supporting her, and she has a brother who is as well surfing pretty good. And I think she could be, Max. She could be the next generation. Probably. Oh, look at that.
I don't think he'll get scored extra points for that super claim right there from David Hubbard. But Joe Grodzen going left, and there it is right there. Whoa! Nice backflip right there from Joe Grodzen. Can he pull it off? And no, he does not. So Joe Grodzen and David Hubbard, nice wave exchange right there. 1 minute to go in this heat number 2 of round number 3 in the men's division. Joe over way by the rocks, and the waves were macking today. So with me now, Eunate Aguirre from España, Bilbao.
Yeah.
Bilbao, that's where Mano Chao is from, I think. And up and riding right now is in the yellow, yes, Roberto Bruno.
Wow, such a good roll. But actually, he has a good, another one.
He's looking to build on a 6.25, but will that be more than that? He's still sitting first place with 6.25 and a 6.9. And Roberto Bruno may have taken this heat Jared Houston in second, David Hubbard in third, and Joe Grodzen. So Roberto Bruno, the Brazilian. This guy has been on fire. Now he comes here in round number 3 and pulls off a win. Roberto Bruno now sitting good with a 6, 12, 14 points. I believe Roberto Bruno will advance on in the top 16. So great job for the Brazilian in yellow jersey,
Yeah.
Roberto Bruno.